Before we get started creating our animation, let me spend a little time showing you how to create, name, and view Bitmap cast members. You can create a new Bitmap cast member by several methods, one of which is to select Paint under the Window menu. Another is to click on the Paint Window button on the toolbar. Let's use this method. Okay, let's just create a circle for now. If you remember, it's just like the tool palette. We can click on the ellipse tool, hold down the Shift key. This allows us to draw a perfect circle. And now we have a circle cast member, circle bitmap cast member, as we can see by looking in our cast window. We should give our circle a name. Now, we know one way to name a cast member, and that is by selecting it in the cast window and entering its name in the cast member name field at the top of the cast window. However, we can also name the cast member as we create it by entering its name at the top of the edit window for that cast member. Notice cast member name. Either way works fine. Let's use this method, and let's call our cast member circle, and close our paint window. And now we have a bitmap cast member called circle. Now let's say we want to create a new bitmap cast member. Well, I told you before, you click on the paint window button to create a new bitmap cast member, so let's do that. So we click on the paint window button, and oh, surprise! Now we don't see a new cast member, we see our old cast member, the one we just created. Now, of course, I just said that if you click on the paint window button or selected paint under the window menu, it created a new bitmap cast member. Well, this isn't always the case. The rub here is that if we have a previously created bitmap cast member selected in our cast window, and then we select the paint window button on the toolbar or select paint under the window menu, it just opens the edit window for that cast member. If we want to create a new cast member, we need to make sure we don't have the bitmap cast member already selected in our cast window. Otherwise, it treats this as if we had just double-clicked on the bitmap cast member, and it opens the cast member's edit window. Let's close this. Now, if we select a blank spot in our cast window and click the paint window button, it creates a new bitmap cast member, as we can see by examining our cast window here. Let's call this one square. Let's make a square here. Again, we can click the rectangle tool, hold down the Shift key. This automatically constrains our rectangle to a square, just as holding down the Shift key constrained our ellipse to a circle. Let's call this one square. And press enter. And now, if we look in our cast window, we have a square cast member. Now, there is an even easier way to create a new bitmap cast member. We can create a new bitmap cast member once we have the paint window open by just clicking the plus button at the top of the paint window. Let's do that. Now this leaves our paint window open and adds a new bitmap cast member to the cast window, as we can see here. Let's draw a squiggle. There's a squiggle, and let's call it squiggle. And now, press enter to enter that name. And now we have a squiggle bitmap cast member. Now we can view each of these cast members in turn. Let's make it so we can see the cast window and the paint window at the same time. We can view each of these cast members in turn just by clicking on these arrows near the plus button. This takes us, clicking on the left button takes us to the previous cast member. And we can do it again. That takes us back to circle. Um, and we can see this as we cycle through these in our cast window. You can see it highlighted as we go to each one. We can click on the right arrow, and that takes us to the next cast member. Notice it becomes highlighted here in our cast window. So it goes to the next one in the cast window when we click the arrows, the next paint cast member, that is. Okay. Now, if I click this again, can you guess which cast member will show up in the edit window if I click this next cast member button? That's right, the squiggle cast member.